Uh, we're going to talk about Troy. They reminisce over you, one of
And,
the
and
greatest.
there's a lot to that one too, man.
Of course, of course. So yeah, let's start from the beginning on that. And let's hear everything that you remember about.
So
They
we
Reminisce
have
Over
we
You.
have the album, and one, it's very hard for them to cut the songs down, but we get to the body of work. And one thing about Pete and CL is there's not a lot of I don't want to suffer, but much like Gangstar and even Large Pro at times, but less, maybe not Large Pro, like Gangstar, not a lot of big choruses. There's
Right.
there's not a one for all brand Nubian or, what's a scenario? There's not a lot of those obvious choruses. So I'm stuck. I don't know what the single is. Is it Straighten It Out? I thought maybe it was Straighten It Out. But I love Reminisce. I loved like The Basement, For Pete's Sake. I mean, the whole record's really good. But I'm thinking maybe Straighten Out's a single. It's got a big chorus. Eddie F. and the guys are adamant about they reminisce. And there was never an argument. And I was like, yeah, it's a beautiful song. It doesn't have a huge chorus, but it is a great song. And I was like, if that's what you guys want, I'm going to back it. So it wasn't ever any kind of no argument or anything. And I backed it. And the single comes out and it connects instantaneously.
I reminisce. Yeah. I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track.
Funny, my high school friend Marcus Rayboy did the video. And Marcus was red hot right then. He had dated my friend, one of the SD50s, he dated my friend Gibi's sister, Nadia. I knew Marcus forever. He was a friend of mine, and he came through with the video. The video's beautiful. It captured exactly what was going on at that time. Stylistically, it felt at one with the song, and it started to get play on MTV relatively quickly. The song was, I don't know if it was a national pop hit, but it's an urban radio hit record. Big in New York, big in the tri-state, big in the nightclubs, and a beautiful record. And the way it starts off, with just the horns by itself, you have to slow down whatever you're doing. It's one of those records you can play it against any record because the tempo is not at the front of the record. There's no drums. So that's like an old trick. So
like for DJs,
Right.
you can pretty much mix it into anything since
Right.
it doesn't have drums in the
Right.
beginning.
So you can reset whatever you're playing in the club. So from there, you could go to anywhere. If you're playing fast records, you can play mid-tempo records. If you're playing slow records, play mid-tempo records. You can mix it to anything because it starts with the horns. And almost every DJ who plays it rocks it from the horn. Just the way that Shook Ones comes in, no drums, right? And it has to stop everything. Though it's not as slow as Shook Ones, so it fit a little better. It was a club banger. It rocked from day one. I could not go out and not hear that record. It still plays in clubs to this day, and it is a game changer. Post that record becoming a hit and Pete Rock's ascent, the entire sound palette of rap music changes. And there's a whole school of East Coast driven rap records that sound like Pete Rock. I literally made my records purposefully not to sound like Pete Rock because so many records sounded like Pete Rock. I feel like Tribe didn't sound like Pete Rock. The Beatnuts didn't really sound like Pete Rock. But man, there's a whole school of music that sounds just like Pete Rock.
Thanks for watching that, and if you dug that, leave a thumbs up and say what up in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to Stony Island Audio for more.